Om. Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. May the Divine Being look over us lovingly as a mother and father. May the Divine Being support and nourish us as a mother and father. May we have the strength and skill to study together the art of spirituality. May no misunderstandings arise amongst us. Om, peace, peace, peace and beneficence be unto us and to all beloved beings everywhere. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Tuesday evening class on the life of Sri Sarada Devi, as offered to us by Swami Chaitananda in his book Sri Sarada Devi and Her Divine Play. We're well along in the book. Haima will tell us what page we're on, and Haima is our very gracious and accomplished reader. So are there any comments or questions before we start? Anything left over from previous sessions that wants to be added, or from your own wisdom or experience, or any concern or question? All right, dear, please proceed.
Thank you, Brother Shankara. I'm so honored. And we are on chapter 34, page 697. We are starting a new chapter, Farewell to Jairam Bati. 27th January 1919 to 27th February 1920. And there is a hymn by Swami Abhedananda. I will read the English translation of the Sanskrit one. Bestow your grace on your children, O great goddess, and on those who salute you by giving them refuge at your feet. O compassionate one, salutations to you. I will read one more time. A hymn by Swami Abhedananda. Actually, he's Abhedananda. Sorry. Bestow your grace on your children, O great goddess, and on those who salute you by giving them refuge at your feet. O compassionate one, salutations to you.
Let me just say a few words about Swami Abhedananda. Swami Abhedananda, of course, was a direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. He taught here in the United States for 22 years. He visited Atlanta in 1913 and 1914, not on his own initiative, but by the invitation of the Atlanta Psychological Association, or maybe the Georgia Psychological Association, in 1913, and then that organization, as well as the Masons, in 1914. He was a great devotee of the Mother and wrote many hymns to her. He's truly a remarkable sadhu, and was one of Swami Swahananda. Swahananda is the Swami who sent me here to Atlanta. Was the head of the Vedanta Society of Southern California from December of 1976 until October of 2012, when he had Mahasamadhi. So this is a remarkable remarkable Swami, and there is a very great reason that Chaitanananda includes this short hymn, or this, I think it's a portion of that hymn. Would you read it again, please, Haima, with that?
Sure,
Since now people have a little more context for who it was who's singing this.
Sure. A hymn by Swami Abhedananda. Bestow your grace on your children, O great goddess, and on those who salute you by giving them refuge at your feet. O compassionate one, salutations to you. Saint Ambrose said, if you're in Rome, live in the Roman way. If you're elsewhere, live as they do there. The ability to adjust to circumstances is essential to living a happy and peaceful life. Holy Mother repeatedly told her disciples.
Hold on just one moment.
Sure.
This was the first lesson that Sri Ramakrishna taught Sri Sarada Devi when he came to Kamarpukur, and she came there to serve him when she was 14 years old. They had been married when she was 5, of course. So please read again what Saint Jerome said. And this was the first lesson that Sri Ramakrishna taught to Holy Mother, and she embodied it all her life long.
Saint Ambrose said, if you're in Rome, live in the Roman way. If you're elsewhere, live as they do there. The ability to adjust to circumstances is essential to living a happy and peaceful life. Holy Mother repeatedly told her disciples to adjust according to time, place, and person. Holy Mother played her divine drama mainly from 2 stages, Jairambati and Calcutta. In Jairambati, she lived among poor and unsophisticated villagers, while in Calcutta, she was surrounded by wealthy and sophisticated city people. However, nothing affected her because her mind dwelt about the pairs of opposites, such as happiness and misery, luxury and poverty. She truly loved her village of Jairambati because she enjoyed more freedom there than in Calcutta. In the first 33 chapters of this book, we have presented to the reader the immortal saga of Holy Mother from 1853 to 1918. From 27th January 1919 to 27th February 1920, Holy Mother lived in Kolpara and Jairambati, where her life story had begun 66 years previously. Although part of this last period of the mother's life has been mentioned in chapter 19, we shall recapitulate some incidents here for the continuation of the story. Holy Mother's niece Radu was pregnant and suffering from neurosis. She could not bear the noise in Calcutta, so the mother decided to move to Jairambati with her. Early in the morning of 27th January 1919, Holy Mother left Udbodhan by horse carriage with Radu and Radu's mother Surabala, as well as Maku and her son Neda, Nalini, and Mandakini Roy, a widowed disciple and attendant of the mother. Brahmachari Ganan, Dvijan, later Swami Gangeshananda, and Brahmachari Barada. Let me go back and read one more time this, Brother Shankara. I made an error in stopping at a point where I shouldn't stop. Holy Mother's niece Radhu was pregnant and suffering from neurosis. She could not bear the noise in Calcutta, so the mother decided to move to Jairambati with her. Early in the morning of 27th January 1919, Holy Mother left Udbodhan by horse carriage with Radhu and Radhu's mother Surabala, as well as Maku and her son Neda, Nalini and Mandakini Roy, a widowed disciple and attendant of the mother, Brahmachari Ganen, Dvaijan, later Swami Gangeshananda, and Brahmachari Barada. Holy Mother and her female companions traveled by train in a reserved second-class compartment, and the men went by interclass. They spent 2 nights at Sureshwar Sen's house in Vishnupur. On the 29th,
let's just
sure.
stop there. This was a devotee of the mother, of course, and very dear to her. And when she was there, every care was given to her health, her comfort, and it was really quite a remarkable story. You might want to just go to the index and read more about that. There's a section where it's quite laid out in detail. So this is an example of the kind of devotion that Mother inspired in her disciples, and is, of course, very instructive to us about how to be with and look on the Mother. So are there any comments or questions so far? We've been going along without stopping. Anything that anyone would like to add or ask? All right, dear, please go ahead.
They spent 2 nights at Sureshwar Sen's house in Vishnupur. On the 29th, they left for Jairambati, taking 6 bullock carts. It was decided that after resting in Kolpara for a couple of days, the party would continue to Jairambati. However, Radhu had slept well for 2 nights in that quiet village and wanted to remain.
Kualpara was very quiet. It was a tiny little village, and they established a monastery there, and then they established a residence for Mother near the monastery, and so it was kind of a way station on the way, and it was close enough to where the monks could come and take care of Mother, but it wasn't on her doorstep, so to speak. It wasn't invasive. It was very nicely placed. I think Swami Sharadananda had a lot to do with it, as well as the man the Swami who headed it, whose name I don't recall right now. Okay, please.
Holy Mother consulted with her brother Kalikumar and others, and they suggested that it would be good for Radhu to stay in Kolpara rather than continue on to Jairambati. Accordingly, Radhu and Holy Mother lived at Jagadamba Ashrama in Kolpara for 6 months, 29th January to 22nd July 1919. During this period, Holy Mother was passing through a hard time. Nalini and Maku were jealous of Radhu and left for Jairambati, where Maku's son Neda died from diphtheria on 20th April 1919. Holy Mother discouraged devotees from visiting her in Kolpara. As Radhu's mental illness and pregnancy worried her, she wrote to Saradananda and asked him to send Sarada, later Bharati Prana, who was an experienced nurse in the female ward of the Ramakrishna Mission, home of service in Varanasi, to Kolpara as soon as possible. Saradananda immediately wrote to Swami Kalikananda asking him to release Sarala and send her to Calcutta. The next day before leaving Varanasi, Sarala went to Turiyananda and told him that she was going to Holy Mother to care for Radhu. Turiyananda said to her, "You're going to the mother? Very well. The great divine mother is engaged in doing good to humanity. We are trying our utmost to raise our minds to this chakra pointing to his throat, and she has brought her mind down forcibly to that center, saying, Radhu, Radhu. Try to understand this great mystery. Victory to the mother, the great primordial power."
Now, would you read that again, please?
Definitely,
This,
Brother Shankara.
this is what Swami Vivekananda said of Holy Mother. He said, none of us can understand her. She lives at this fifth chakra, the chakra above the heart chakra. She lives and speaks from there. And as the Swami said to this woman, Sarla, we do our utmost to raise our consciousness to that level. She keeps her mind down to that level by this yoga maya of repeating Radhu, Radhu. You can look up that word yoga maya and its definition in the very expansive way that Swami Chaitanananda talks about it. It's earlier in the book, considerably earlier in the book. But this is what the Swami means by this great mystery, that Mother could live at that, live and serve humanity from that place. But if it hadn't been for the Yoga Maya, as Sri Ramakrishna said, oh, she would just fly away. She would just fly away. This creation is just too difficult. So in order for her to stay and serve, she deliberately attached herself to Radhu and made Radhu and Radhu's welfare and Radhu's family, her mother, all of these, they were all mentally ill. The mother, Radhu, all suffered from mental illness. So it was extremely taxing. Any comments or questions from anyone?
Yes, I have one question.
Yes, Sham.
Did Holy Mother support all these relatives financially?
She did as she could, as they needed it. Yes, but she definitely supported Radhu, Sarala, and the child when it was born. She offered support to her brothers and the whole extended family. But particularly with regard to Radhu and Sarala, this is one of the reasons that it was said these other two were jealous. Maku and I've forgotten the other name, were jealous and went on to Jairambati because Mother spent so much time, effort, and for that matter, money. And Saradananda was constantly furnishing extra money from the resources of the Ramakrishna order to support the mother, and then the mother would channel that money as she saw fit. Does that answer it, Sham?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
It must be very difficult to raise all that money then.
Well, there were many people donated money on Mother's behalf, directly to her and also to Saradananda in Kolkata. When Mother was in Kolkata, the people would not necessarily take the money upstairs to Mother. They would simply give it to Saradananda. So he had, a, so to speak, a little treasury of money that was meant to pay for Mother's welfare. And so he would transfer that money to Mother or pay for doctors and other people who would care for the Mother as necessary. So there was,
Thank you.
yeah, there was, it wasn't so much that there was fundraising going on, but a lot of people, particularly the wealthy people of Calcutta, that were the Mother's disciples and followers, even if they hadn't yet been initiated, they often brought very substantial gifts, which to them were, of course, trivial. As we say these days, budget dust. But it was a significant amount of money. 30 rupees in those days was a lot of money. And so it would support a family for a month. So there was a lot of that kind of giving. And Saradananda, of course, was the general secretary of the Ramakrishna order and was very, he was so meticulous in his bookkeeping that it's still the standard by which the order keeps their books. Saradananda's, the standard that he set. To the pice, which is some, I don't know what portion of a rupee that is, but it's a tiny portion. Anything else from anyone? All right, dears, please read on.
I'll read this paragraph one more time, like you said, Brother Shankara. During this period, that is 29th January to 22nd July 1919, Holy Mother was passing through a hard time. Nalini and Maku were jealous of Radhu and left for Jairampati, where Maku's son Neda died from diphtheria on 20th April 1919. Holy Mother discouraged devotees from visiting her in Kolpara. As Radhu's mental illness and pregnancy worried her, she wrote to Saradananda and asked him to send Sarala, later Bharati Prana, who was an experienced nurse in the female ward of the Ramakrishna Mission Home of Service in Varanasi, to Kolpara as soon as possible. Saradananda immediately wrote to Swami Kalikananda asking him to release Sarala and send her to Calcutta. The next day before leaving Varanasi, Sarala went to Turiyananda and told him that she was going to Holy Mother to care for Radhu. Turiyananda said to her, "You are going to the Mother? Very well. The great Divine Mother is engaged in doing good to humanity. We are trying our utmost to raise our minds to this chakra pointing to his throat, and she has brought her mind down forcibly to that center, saying, Radhu, Radhu. Try to understand this great mystery. Victory to the Mother, the great primordial power." Sarala arrived in Kolpara during the first week of April 1919, accompanied by Ruma Devi, who wanted initiation from the Mother. Dr. Matilal, later Swami Prabhudananda from Mayavati, accompanied them. They arrived at Kolpara via Vishnupur. Sarala saw that Holy Mother was lying down on the floor with a low temperature. When Holy Mother saw Sarala, she said, "My child, I'm happy that you have come. Look at my condition. I am lying down helpless. Look after Radhu. I am relieved that you are here." She greeted Ruma and told her that Saradananda had written to her asking for Ruma's initiation. She agreed to initiate her as soon as she was well. Ruma was born in Garbyang, a village in the Himalayas between Mayavati and Kailash, and she spoke Hindi. She came from a respectable and spiritual family. She had read about Ramakrishna and Holy Mother and had received a mantra in a dream.
Hmm.
When the mother learned that Ruma planned to return to her home with Dr. Matilal, the mother initiated her on the same day despite her illness. After initiating her, she said to Sarada, "This girl followed my instructions well. Where is Kailash and where is Kolpara? My child, see how the master attracts people?"
Kailash, this Kailash is a great distance from Kualpur. I mean, and as we had heard, this woman, Ruma, was that her name? Had received a mantra in a dream. This so very
Ruma.
often happened. It still happens. And people still receive mantras in dreams, receive that mantras and other instructions in dreams. It's not restricted to that time. But the mother was remarking how the master would draw people at the proper time and of the proper inclination, and give them liberation, which is it's said, if you receive the master's grace, the mother's grace, the master's grace, in this form of this mantra, if you follow their instructions and practice it with devotion and diligence, that your freedom is assured. Any comments or questions about any of that?
Like you said, Brother Shankara, if things happen at the right time, Master attracts us to what we needed.
Yes.
Exactly. I was drawn to Vedanta Center in Atlanta at the right time on 2019, January 1st. Since then, I've been really attached to it, no matter where I am.
Very good, dear. And we are attached to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
A girl, okay. After initiating her, she said to Sarala, "This girl followed my instructions well. Where is Kailash and where is Kolpara? My child, see how the master attracts people?" Ruma had knit a woolen rug for the mother and now presented it to her. She cried profusely as she left, and the mother blessed her. Sarala recalled Radhu was suffering from neurosis and wouldn't move out of the thatched hut adjacent to the cowshed. Despite Radhu's mental state, we were happy to be with the mother at Kolpara. One day, a bird sat on the branch of a tree near our room. Like an innocent girl, the mother asked the bird, "Oh bird, could you tell me whether Radhu will have a boy or a girl?" The bird cried out, "Koka, koka, koka." Pleased, the mother said to us that Radhu would have a son. Koka means little boy. That's what the bottom asterisk says, Brother Shankara. I cannot believe this. A bird said that Koka. Amazing.
Well, the mother asked it to. How could it do otherwise?
Some birds
And of course, yes, koka means, it kind of means, it's an affectionate term for a boy. Koki.
He's the girl, probably.
Yeah.
Right?
There's an instance at what is now Vivekananda Retreat Ridgely, where Swami Vivekananda had gone to this grand ballroom dance at some rich person's place nearby. Really quite an affair, all the decorations and everything. It was probably some holiday. And one of the daughters was there that was very fond of Swami Vivekananda and had many times sat on his knee as a little girl. And she'd grown up to be a teenager now. And she was standing on the edge of the dance floor, looking out into this great crowd of people in all their finery. And it was really quite an impressive sight, apparently. And Swami Vivekananda came up behind her and whispered into her ear, "Don't let it fool you, Koki. Don't let it fool you. Don't let it fool you, Koki. Don't let it fool you." So there we are. Vivekananda always looking out for those that he loved. And again, the words of a holy man have extraordinary power. So you can imagine they sank deep in this group. Just what her life became, I don't recall. But Swami Vivekananda loved her dearly. So that's just a little sidebar. Koka, koka, koka. Mother, pleased, the mother said that Radu would have a son. Wonderful. Okay, dear.
In spite of the fact that she was staying in that remote village of Kolpara, Holy Mother's life was eventful. Keshavananda's mother was an elderly woman and hard of hearing, but she was devoted to the mother. She got all kinds of news about the mother from her youngest daughter-in-law and believed the gossip that she heard. Holy Mother did not approve of this. One afternoon, Keshavananda's mother said that Kishori's wife, Yugal, had stolen Holy Mother's footprint. There was a big commotion. That evening, Holy Mother said to Brahmachari Bharada, "Tomorrow go to the market and buy some cloth and a bottle of alta, which is red paint, and give it to Kedar's mother. Let me fulfill their desire." The next day, Bharada went to Kotalpur, actually, this one, sorry. The next day, Bharada went to Kotalpur and bought some fine bleached cloth and a bottle of alta. He cut that cloth into 32 pieces and gave it to Keshavananda's mother to make the footprints. Within a couple of days, Holy Mother's footprints were taken and distributed among the devotees. They were the last footprints taken while she was alive.
And now some of them are in the Ramakrishna Museum at Belrumat. Some of these footprints. And of course, photographs of them have been distributed very widely. Very high quality color photographs. But Swami Prabhananda, who was the one who organized that museum, was busy gathering these kinds of holy relics. If you ever get a chance to visit that museum in Belrumat, at Belrumat, the Ramakrishna Museum, it was finished after I was in India, so I've never visited, but I've been told by people who have gone that it is a very inspiring and uplifting experience. Anything else from anyone? All right, dears, please go ahead, dear.
After the master passed away, when Holy Mother was alone in Kamarpakur, she felt helpless because she had no children to look after her. Then the master appeared to her and said, "Well, you're thinking of children. I have left you many of them, all jewels.
Hmm.
Saradananda was one of those jewels. His love and devotion, faith and respect for Holy Mother were truly second to none. Although he was physically in Calcutta, his mind was focused on the mother's health and welfare and her needs. That is why the mother used to say affectionately, Sharath is the bearer of my burdens. The following excerpts from Saradananda's letters show how seriously he bore the responsibility for Holy Mother and her family affairs and sought to make her daily life smooth and pleasant. 19th February 1919. Mother, please accept our countless salutations. I am getting all news of you from Kedar, Keshavananda. I am concerned about Radhu. I pray to the Master for her quick recovery. I have already sent some lemons and pomegranates. And yesterday, Majjam Narayan oil, an Ayurvedic oil, has been sent. I have sent rupees 25 to Kedar for your expenses in Kolpara, and today I am remitting another 25 rupees. Please let me know
As I was saying, in those days,
it was
30 rupees was enough to support a family of four. Not lavishly, but enough. 30 rupees in those days was enough to support a family of four for a month. So, as I was saying, he was regularly sending mother. So I have sent rupees 25 to Kedar for your expenses in Kualpura, and today I'm remitting another 25 rupees. So there we are. That's 50 rupees to take care of these burdensome expenses of caring for Radu and Sarla. Okay, please read on, dear.
Please let me know whether I should send some money for your personal expenses. I learned from Kishori's letter that you had asked for a lavatory to be built in Jairampati. I asked him and Kedar to send me an estimate as soon as possible.
And that was built.
25th February 1919. Dr. Suresh Bhattacharya, Dr. Bipin Ghosh, and Dr. Durgapada Ghosh treated Nalini, mother's niece, but her condition did not improve. According to their suggestion, we have brought a Western woman doctor who is now treating her. She will be able to return to Jairampati after 2 or 3 weeks. We pray to the Master so that Radhu can get rid of the neurosis. 27th February 1919. I have sent 50 lemons and 13 pomegranates by postal parcel. The shipping cost is high, so I did not send you earlier. However, we shall send more as soon as you finish those. Please ask Kedar and Kishori to complete the construction of the lavatory in Jairampati before the rainy season. There is a famine all around now. We are not getting sufficient funds for relief work. We're doing some relief work in Bankura and Manbhum districts. Today, I learned from the letter of Kedar that Radu had a little temperature. We're concerned about her. Please take care of yourself. If your health is good, then we shall be able to maintain our strength, confidence, and composure, and Radu will be taken care of properly.
Now, this business that the Swami was talking about, right from the beginning, Vivekananda said, do relief work. When there's a famine, when there's floods, when there's some natural disaster, the Ramakrishna order should be immediately available. The monks should immediately go and serve without stint, working from Kinsi to Kainsi, as they used to say in the country. In other words, from dawn to dusk, doing everything they can and take nothing for themselves. In other words, eat as little as possible, sleep as little as possible, serve as much as possible. And this is why to this day, the Ramakrishna order is looked to by the Indian government for, and I mean look to, they give them billions of rupees over a period of time. And you know, a rupee is not worth as much, but they give them tremendous amounts of money to help with relief work, particularly for natural disasters. And knowing that the Ramakrishna order will not misspend 1 rupee. They will devote every rupee that they're given by the government to that work, and that they'll do a good job of it. And the Ramakrishna order's reputation in this regard is unparalleled. Nothing like it has ever been. This is the very deliberate efforts of Swami Vivekananda and Swami Brahmananda right from the beginning. Remember, we're talking about 1919. Swami Brahmananda didn't leave the body until 1922. He was the president of the Ramakrishna order. So he would have been, and Swamiji was long gone. He left in 1902, left the body. So the Brahmananda, Raja Maharaj, Rakal, mother always called him Rakal, his birth name, was responsible for organizing all this, along with, of course, Swami Saradananda and some others, Premananda, Turyananda, and so on. But they did, it's just astounding what they did with such little resources, even in those days. This is before the government began to give them money, because the British, of course, were still in charge at that time.
Brother Shankara?
Yes.
Wasn't it a little bit controversial when the Ramakrishna mission began doing relief work? Because
oh, yes.
Religious institutions didn't do that back then.
Well, monastic organizations did not. No, they were criticized. They were scorned. Oh, they're doing women's work. You know, this, and some of the monks objected. They felt stung by this. There is the story of a real controversy that arose up in that home of service in Varanasi, and how Brahmananda resolved it. I won't go into it now, but it was an example of his, as was said, ruling by love. He didn't go and I won't go into it. It'll be too much of a diversion. But yes, you're absolutely right, Jeff. It was controversial, and Brahmananda just kept on keeping on and encouraged the monks to do as Swami Vivekananda had said. Vivekananda, said, "Work hard, be pure, the fire will come." And this was his instruction to the monks. And so now, of course, all that controversy is behind them, and virtually every other monastic organization in India now emulates the Ramakrishna order. Otherwise, they wouldn't be as respectable. They don't all do it. There are still some that are, particularly the Nangtas and the naked ones, and so on. They stick to their spiritual practices. But most of the other robed orders, you might say, emulate the Ramakrishna order in one way or another. Anything else from anyone while we're stopped? Thanks for that, Jeff. You are absolutely right. Okay, please read on, dear.
Next letter to mother, 21 March 1919. I have asked Dr. Vaikunta of Bankura to go to Kolpara whenever you need him for Radhu's delivery. Tomorrow, Nalini is going to Jairambati with Kalo, a son of Sureshwar Sen of Vishnupur. I'm sending with her pomegranates, pato, a vegetable, lemons, and sweets. Please don't neglect your body and eat at the right time. If you are ill, the whole arrangement will be jeopardized. I heard you had some pain for a couple of days. Now, how are you? Your Western woman devotee's daughter's marriage date has been fixed for 2 months from now, and the bridegroom is a nice person. She conveyed her pranam to you and asked me to inform you.
Now, I don't remember which of these Western devotees it was. It may have been Josephine MacLeod.
Nivedita, right, Brother Shankara? She is Nivedita.
No,
Josephine MacLeod, no.
no. Vedita. Josephine MacLeod was Tantine. And Nivedita was Margaret Noble. She did not have any daughter, and neither did Tantine. So I don't know who this is. I'm sorry. It just, so much has been forgotten. I knew these things and now I don't remember. And in any case, when he wouldn't have related this to the mother if it weren't something that would be very significant to her. Okay.
17th April 1919. Mother, please accept our respectful pronouns. I have heard your body is still weak. There is a possibility of relapse of fever if you work hard and do not eat timely. Please take care of yourself. Deva Mata has written a letter to you from America, which I'm sending to you. Paramananda has sent 66 rupees for you from Boston. Shall I remit it now?
Oh, Paramananda, by the way, was Swami Vivekananda's disciple and very active in the United States. He had established 2 centers in the Los Angeles area. And Deva Mata, his niece, was the one that he wanted to put in charge of them when he left the body. But that wasn't permitted. So it turned into something of a kerfuffle. But in any event, this Paramananda, he wrote a number of books, and he has also established that Boston Center, one in Connecticut. I've forgotten now the place. He was very active. He traveled very much like Swami Vivekananda did, constantly on the move, constantly speaking and teaching. And as I said, 66 rupees in those days, that was a lot of money for this Swami to send. It was obviously that he raised from his speaking. Okay?
29th April 1919. We are shocked to hear the news of the death of Neda, Maku's son, and we understand you are afflicted immensely. It is all the master's play, and we understand it very little. I'm sending 150 rupees per month for your household expenses in Kolpara. On 9th May.
That means that the expenses had gone up very much. So, because 150 rupees a month, that was really a lot of money for a household. So there must have been a number of people that mother was supporting, and also probably paying for doctors to take care of Radu and her child and so on. Okay.
On 9th May 1919, Radhu gave birth to a son in a natural way without much difficulty. It was a great relief to the mother. The mother named the boy Banabihari, an epithet of Krishna that means he who roams in the forest. Banabihari. On 23rd July 1919, Holy Mother moved to Jairambati with all her companions, and she lived there till 27th February 1920. Radhu was weak and bedridden most of the time. According to custom, 6 months after Banabihari's birth, Holy Mother arranged his rice feeding ceremony, Annaprasana, and fed many people. Holy Mother knew that her days were coming to an end, so she began making arrangements for the future. She said to Parameshwarananda, "You stay in Jairambati. If you live here, then I will feel a great relief." He replied, "Mother, I feel hesitant to live here long. I heard that one should not stay at the house of one's guru more than 3 days." Holy Mother reassured him, "Don't worry, I'm asking you to stay here." Swami Parameshwarananda obeyed the mother's order and looked after the mother's temple in Jairambati until his death in 1978. Narayan Iyengar, later Swami Srivasanananda, proposed that the courtyard of the mother's new house be cemented because during the rainy season, that area became muddy. When Parameshwarananda informed the mother about Narayan's proposal, she said, "No, my son, it's not necessary to cover the courtyard with bricks and cement. People will say that we have a lot of money." That's true. The Swami understood that she wanted to live just like the other villagers in Jairambati. Parameshwarananda recalled, many devotees would come to visit the mother in Jairambati. She would arrange for their stay and food with great care.
Herself personally, unless she was very ill, she would do it personally, not through others. It's just an amazing thing.
She could not bear it that they should be inconvenienced while living with her. We saw the mother roaming in the village and collecting vegetables and milk for tea for her visiting devotees. It was a sight to see. We read in the scriptures that only the devotees yearn for God, and here we witnessed the Divine Mother had descended on the earth, longed for the devotees and served them. This truth we realized by meditating on the Leela of the Master and the Mother. Sri Ramakrishna would climb on the roof of the mansion and cry, "Oh devotees, where are you? Please come." As many devotees came to Dakshineshwar. In Jairambati, we have seen that the mother would wait for the devotees. And if there was no devotee on a particular day, she would lament, "Well, today no devotee has come." It is amazing that shortly after a couple of devotees would arrive, the Divine Mother herself descended to earth to deliver people. So she eagerly waited for her children. In August 1919, there was heavy rain in Jairambati. In the evenings after japa and meditation, Holy Mother would ask her disciples to sing some devotional songs in the parlor, or she would ask them to read the Bengali Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita to her.
That's the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna in its original Bengali version. It wasn't translated until, I think, 1948 by Swami Nikhilananda in New York.
Swami Ishananda wrote, For the last few days, we've been reading the Kathamrita, part 3. After listening to the reading, one day the mother said, "How wonderfully Master kept everything in his memory and then wrote it down so beautifully." She meant meaning yum. How wonderfully Master, meaning yum, kept everything in his memory and then wrote it down so beautifully. Listening to the conversations of the Master, it seems that those are taking place right now in front of us. What a vivid description. And the Master's words go straight to the mind and stick there. Nowadays, so many people are drawn to the Master by reading and listening to the Kathamrita. They're getting peace. The Master's words are infallible. I comment.
Let's not pass that by. The
Sure.
Master's words are infallible. So if you read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, you will read promise after promise after promise. And so the mother is saying, these words are wonderful. They are infallible, infallible. They must come to pass. One of the Master's greatest promises to us is that if you practice just a little, and of course he surrounded this by the idea that this practicing just a little with devotion and sincerity, he meant with tears in your eyes, asking, if you practice just a little, someone will come forward to help you. By that he meant himself and the mother herself in the form of Kali. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And that is not just for then, that's why that book exists. It is for now. And the experience of many, many, many devotees over the decades. It's been 50 years since I was drawn to Swami Prabhavananda. In those decades, I have seen so many people transformed. Householders, people with busy lives, but they practiced just a little and yearned hard for this transformation, and it would occur. Any comments or questions before we close out? Because I think we should end it there.
Yes, I'll leave it there, Brother Shankara, almost time. And truly, it is a great book. We are reading now, our Boulder group is reading Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I am personally reading way ahead of them, been reading before them. So it's a really, really a great book, Brother
Oh,
Shankara.
it is
Yes.
inestimable, inestimable. There's no way to, Mother gave us a little characterization of it here. But notice it ends with, the Master's words are infallible. And these are his words. So any final comments or questions from anyone? All right, dears. Jai Shri Durga, Jai Shri Durga, Jai Shri Durga. Our Durga chanting goes on. And tomorrow is the last day of the 10 days of the chanting of Durga's name, or your mantra, whichever you choose. So those of you who have made a pledge at the end of that time, please do report to me by email what your total japa was for the 10 days. And just all you have to do is just send. You don't have to say anything more than just the total of my japa for the 10 days was. That's all. Tomorrow night, of course, we have class. on the Divine Grace book by Swami Ranganathananda. Saturday, we will not have class because Aditya Chaturvedi is going to serve as Pujari and celebrate the Durga Puja for us from the chapel. He will, it will be Zoomed. No in-person attendance, please, but it will be Zoomed, and the full puja will be available to you to watch over the Zoom, and it's there's no difference in your being here physically or watching it over the Zoom. Swami Prabhavananda was very clear about that, that not everybody could fit in the temple. So when they, even when he spoke, let alone when there was a puja, and so they set up a closed circuit TV there in Hollywood so that people could observe it from the so-called living room of the greenhouse, and it could attend the puja. And of course, the question arose: well, is this as good as being in the room? Swami said, yes, don't worry. And of course, the idea is there's no such thing as time and space. It's just an illusion in our minds. So if you attend the puja by Zoom, it's as good as being here. This is the assertion of Swami Prabhupada. And then on Sunday, this coming Sunday, the talk will be on the significance of mother worship according to Swami Swahananda. And one of the things that will be discussed is just exactly what is happening when you are chanting Jai Shri Durga. So that's, I won't say anything more about it than that, but it's really quite remarkable what is happening when you are chanting Jai Shri Durga. So please attend that talk on Sunday if it is your will to do so. And then the following week, of course, we'll go back to our regular schedule of classes. So on. There is no, for those of you who are used to having Seva Saturday on the second Saturday, we are not holding it because of the puja that day. So the Seva Saturday will take place on the third Saturday of this month. So the 8th, so that would be the 15th. The 15th, October the 15th will be Seva Saturday. Any comments or questions from anyone? All right, dears. Om Hari Om. Om Hari Om. Om Hari Om. Om Sato Ma Satkamaya. Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma Amrutangamaya. Abir Moiti. O dearly beloved Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from this realm of relentless confusion and endless noise to thine abode of silence, serenity, clarity, and peace. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from darkness and ignorance to the brilliance of thy wisdom and love. Lead us from death to immortality. Light us through and through. Light us through and through with thy everlasting, shining presence. Hari Om Tat Sat. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Durga, Durga, Durga. May we be safe. May we be healthy. May we be cheerful. May we have peace of mind. May we be always in the loving and protective embrace of the Divine Being as our Mother and Father. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace and beneficence be unto us and to all beloved beings everywhere. Good night, everyone, until tomorrow night, if you choose to join us, and so on, as was described. Any final thought or concern or question from anyone? All right. Sayonara, everyone. Good night.